Previously on Fallout New Vegas. Wow. Well, they're gone. Well, sucks to be them. Oh my god, whoa. Okay, did you guys see that? Okay, his body went out of control. Like some ghost was taking its body and just go crazy with it. Wow. I'm definitely clipping that. I'm definitely gonna clip that. Now we continue our journey in Mojave. Hey everybody, this is Bloodboy C1, and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas. When we last left off, we began our journey in the land of Zion, where I executed my own caravan since I didn't like them, and was encountered by the White Legs, the Legion tribe. We dealt with them and met with a tribe warrior named FollowChalk. He felt concerned, so he wished to escort me to their leader, so I agreed, but I had to explore before I head to the main camp. After I did, I get to meet with the man himself who escaped death, Joshua Graham. He knows about me being a courier. I feel like Ulysses told him about that. He asked me to help an ally collect a few things: a compass, lunch, walkie-talkie, and medical kit. After that's done, we encountered the Sorrow tribe with a caravan member, Daniel, who is a coward and always will be. We give him the things and then was given the next task: destroy the caves, take out the White Legs at the bridge and the camps, and collect the map. After that's done, Joshua had a long grudge with the Legion due to everything he has done for them and wants to destroy the White Legs since he can't let go of his rage. I did the side quest to fight the Ghost of She before I made a decision, and I choose to side with Joshua over Daniel since again, he's a coward. During a long battle, we made it to the main camp and Joshua is about to finish off the leader. We decided to stop him and successfully convinced him to spare the leader, and the journey ends. Also, before we get started, the voice actor named Keith Sarabeka, who voices Josh Granham, also voiced Nobunaga in Sengoku Basara, which is one of my favorite games, by the way. So yeah, I just want to point that out. So, we're finally at the last DLC called The Old World Blues. Hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, let's get to it.
In the years before the Great War, Big Mountain had been the home to the brightest minds of the 21st century. Scientists of vision were drawn to the facility to tackle the greatest technological challenges of the era. They sought to create a new world, fueled by technology for the benefit of all mankind. Sonic emitters, space-age alloys, DNA hybridization, force field particle research, autodoc advances in cranial, cardiac, and trauma surgery. The hopes and dreams of a century became realities in the electronic forges of Big Mountain. The nucleus of this research was the Dome, a huge stone facility that held the labs of every science known to man. It was a think tank where no problem could not be solved, where no question could not be answered. The Great War brought a new energy to Big Mountain and its scientists. Although sheltered from the front lines, the scientists waged their own war, fighting their battles at the atomic level. Equations and calculations marched endlessly across chalkboards and computer terminals toward one solution: winning the war. For years, the minds and computers of Big Mountain were a blaze of trajectories, weapon schematics, and nuclear theories. The problems began to outpace the solutions. First geometrically, then exponentially. As the war escalated, so did the questions. On the night of October 23rd, 2077, the scientists received an answer that put all their questions to rest. In the aftermath, Big Mountain's silent experiments went to sleep, their creators slowly dying in the new world that had been left behind. And the great stone in the middle of the Big Empty lay untouched, filled with countless technological wonders. Wonders that, in the end, had been answers to the wrong question.
My voice was not in the video, sadly, so I'll be doing a voiceover. We started off getting kidnapped by some aliens and was put in surgery. Then we wake up in the Big Empty. At least I'm happy that they didn't steal my equipment. Then we enter our base of operations, which will be cool later. Then we encounter a bunch of talking brains.
I thought I heard the pacification field kick in. All right, shh. Nobody move. I'll handle this. Be warned, intruder. You are in the presence of the mighty think tank of Big Mountain, the collective geniuses of... By Oppenheimer, which one of you self-professed geniuses has been adjusting my volume knob? Who was it? Was it you, 8? Oh, Dr. O, was it? Likely story. O couldn't spark 2 neurons if they were in a lattice of biomed gel.
What? Me? Breaking news, Klein. It wasn't me, all right? I'm the robotical engineer. 8 is sound waves. That's his specialty. You always do this. You always demean me in front of guests. And it's not O, all right? It's...
Enough! Either of you do it again, it'll be the last time. Now... Great. Now I forgot what I was saying. What was I talking about?
During the argument, they did surgery on my body and replaced them with other parts, along with my brain, which they somehow lost, and suddenly...
If it isn't my old colleagues, the mighty think tank of Big Mountain. Big fools, all of you. It is I, Dr. Mobius, transmitting from my dome-shaped dome in the Forbidden Zone, a zone that is, yes, forbidden to you. Even now, my deadly robo-scorpions swarm across Big Mountain with their pincers and pointy laser tails. Soon, all science will be mine. Even the technology sealed in the Big Mountain research centers cannot save you. So cower in your think tank. Wait for the end. That's all. Goodbye.
Mobius. Always the same broadcast. He's clearly mad, driven insane by his flawed and imprecise kindergarten-level research methodology.
What are we going to do? There's no way we can breach the Forbidden Zone. There's those robot scorpions everywhere.
The Forbidden Zone, where no brain has ever entered, nor ever returned.
Except Dr. Mobius, and the technologies that could save us. They are out of our reach.
And Dr. Mobius mocks us. Did you see his cracked monitor? He's clearly let himself go.
What? Ask the lobotomite for help? 8, I think you need the fluid levels in your logic assist pumps checked.
If this lobotomite responded, Dr. Klein, then it is clearly intelligent, perhaps even displays heretofore unknown levels of helpfulness.
But what of its brain? We scooped that out. We don't even know where we left it. And for putting it back in, none of us have the knowledge.
Yes, but it's still aware and responsive. Look at it. It's regarding us even now, with its big teddy bear eyes. If we ask it politely, and leave the part about the unnecessary, ruthless lobotomizing out, it might be favorably disposed to us.
So my character's brain has been stolen by Mobius, and these 5 asked me to help them. In exchange, they would put the brain back in my head. I need to collect the required technology to get inside Mobius's main base. Once we are outside, we encounter our first enemy, the Lobolamites, which isn't a problem since they're easy to deal with. The second enemy is the skeleton spacemen that can easily be taken out if you shoot them in the head. Then I found Ulysses' cave and his holotape, and gave me good information about Christine and him.
Didn't think you'd make it back.
Almost didn't. Got my answers. You're Elijah. He met the gods in this place.
X-12 is closed.
Quiet, you fool!
Did a good job of making them question the way of things.
Do you know where he went?
He's gone to the Sierra Madre. That's a special kind of hell. He won't come back. Someone smarter and tougher is going to kill him. If the Madre doesn't.
I have to go after him.
Not going to talk you out of it. Know what it means to track someone you share history with. Got a meeting of my own.
That courier?
Get him to come to me. Got a message for him. Like the message he had for me. Make them walk the road west, straight and true. Sink their feet in old world ash. Let storms tear at them. See the divide. See what happened.
The divide? There's nothing there.
Nothing there. Like the big empty. The Sierra Madre. No. The old world sleeps there. Sure as the flag I carry. The courier knows the way. And at the divide, he and I, there, we'll have an ending to things.
I guess I should have done Old World first before doing Dead Money. I explore around the map to make things easier for fast travel, and I listen to the second holotape.
Don't want to argue philosophy with you. Brotherhood are preservationists. Tech in the wrong hands, it's dangerous. Mojave's proof.
No denying that. Proof's here in this crater, all around us. Your tribe, the Brotherhood, haven't met many of you. Wanted to. Thought you might be the last chance for the Mojave, the West, the East. But you're all the same mind. Obsessed.
Elijah is obsessed. He's mad. It's why they ordered his execution.
2 are more alike than you know. 2 wrapped up in the wrong bits of history to see ahead. Not judging. I know how it is. People are like couriers. You and him. Sometimes don't even know the message they bring. You all had a new flag. Thought maybe new ideas along with it. What you believe isn't any better than the bear or bull. No future in either.
So says the man with the old world flag on his back. America, the Commonwealth, burned away.
America sleeps. And until it's dead, I carry it. Just like I carried you. More than hope. Belief. There's voices here in the big empty. I want to talk to them. Not like your Elijah did. Got questions. Want to hear history give its answer.
I'm happy I got to discover that Elijah was crazy and I found his energy weapon. Then we encountered our third enemy, and that is the Robo Scorpion. They're easy to deal with if you have armor-piercing rounds. It's best to save those if you're going over here. We found the Forbidden Zone, which will be important for fast travel later. We collect the first AI chip, then the second, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth, and then we collect the antenna.
Trying to steal the H2 transmitter array antenna, are you? You won't succeed. Not if my lethal robo-scorpions have any...
It's kind of a shame that those scorpions aren't even much of a problem. Should have made Robo Death Claws, you comic book villain. We entered the testing lab to see how they create Robo Brains.
Who am I?
I do the X-Day institutional test like 3 times to collect data and upgrades. Took out the dog with no effort. And acquire a stealth suit. Then do the stealth suit
This
challenge
is the
like
basic
4
stealth
times
test.
to get fully
Who do
upgraded.
you think is cuter, Dr. Klein or Dr. Boros?
Klein, no question.
Test data processed. Firmware updated to version 1.1. Boot damping sensors online. Test data processed. Firmware updated to version 1.2. Aural subnet online. Test data processed. Firmware updated to version 1.3. Torso fitment synced to user's physiology. Test data processed. Firmware updated to version 1.4. Impulse accelerator online.
We head inside this box simulation.
You're my best friend forever.
Thanks, stealth suit Amanda. We collect more AI chips. Then get jumped, resulting in my weapon being close to breaking.
Please take this. Does that better?
We enter the grown-ups playground,
looks pretty tough.
collect the chip from the toaster ritual, and one from the truck. Bought 01101. And then we went back to the base to wake up all the machines.
Oh, yeah, baby. Feels good to be online again. Yeah, all circuits online. Ready to receive your seed.
Oh, God, look at you. You're filthy. I suppose you'll want to clean up then?
I just like a drink, thanks.
You can have as much as you like. Just, please don't put your lips on the faucet. It's so unsanitary.
Ah, good day, citizen. Library Processing Unit 232.7 is online and ready to eradicate sedition.
Well, how about that? Old auto doc's back online. Well, all right, come here. Let's have a look at you. You are, without a doubt, the healthiest son of a bitch I've ever seen wandering the big empty. Ain't got no use for an old digital sawbones like me. Concerned about the state of your mind, are you? Well, such things ain't my specialty, but I'm happy to tender my opinion as to your mental health. I should make you aware that the benefits of such a procedure are exclusive. That is, this only works once. Now, are you sure this is what you want? All right, just try to relax. This won't hurt, unless your sense of self is especially vulnerable.
I never thought I can change my traits in this game. Good stuff.
Oh my. Partial functionality restored. That's less than optimal.
Ooh, yeah, dig that sweet music. Damn, it's good to be back online. What do you want, Mugs, huh? You some kind of sick mug hoarder? Oh, God, give me the coffee cup, please. It's sitting there in your back, taunting me. Sorry. Sorry. I got a little carried away. It's just all those goddamn dirty dishes out there with no one to clean them. It breaks my heart!
Buddy, I feel the same way.
I am online once again! Tremble, world, before my electric heating coil of doom! You should be afraid. I am the scourge of all small appliances, and the boogeyman that keeps lesser toasters awake at night.
Wait, so you murder toasters?
Not just murder. I tear them apart and render them down to their base components. Once their guts are spilled, you can do with them what you like.
Yeah, I have to go now.
Yes! Flee before my terrible power!
I go back to Klein to tell him I finished the stupid errands.
What? You did? Your survival, let alone success, barely registered in my projections. Now, all I need to do is check my transmission databank. Mobius is always filling it up with his psychotic calls. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. How truthful.
Then he tells me to head to the Forbidden Zone.
The door should be unsealed. Now, instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius. And that message is science. Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror. You can go now. That's your cue.
We fast travel there and head inside to face a giant robo-scorpion and, yeah, watch this.
This is the clear report. Giant robo-scorpion is alive! Awaken, my pet! Initiate your search and destroy protocol in...
Yeah, this boss sucks. Nothing new about that. Now we encounter Mobius.
Yo, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. A little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely. Whoa, did I leave that on? I thought I'd powered it down. Was wondering what was causing the power outages. Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
I tell him I want my brain back, and he's like, sure, but he might refuse, but I prove him wrong. But not before Mobius reveals that he's not evil, but Klein
I was
is.
probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take Mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
Then we talk to our character's brain, so I'll let this play out.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again? Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie? After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome. I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though. Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it. Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good Lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you? Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing. Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote, as if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment? Fun? Fun? Is tetanus fun? Is rickets? What about sepsis, huh? Enjoy that, do we? The things you do with our body are suicidally dangerous, and if you could silence your glandular impulses, you would hear me screaming at you! I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you. Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones. I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it? Indeed, quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it? I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us. Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share. And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead. Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan? Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
I reattached the spine and heart back in my character and got the new perks. Then we start scrapping.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped? A fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I've... Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack! Blaster with our... This weapon has soft lock. It is coming for us!
Cessation of hostilities complete.
And with that, the journey ends.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The Courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others, which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The Sync atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal. saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The thing continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy, except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the Courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years. As the Courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The Courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the Courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with the lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The Courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the Courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the Courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the Courier had to walk alone.
I have to say, this was a pretty okay DLC, minus the fetch quests, and we got to listen to some stuff about Ulysses and Christine, along with some new weapons. So, that's the Old World Blues DLC. Thank you guys all for watching. We're finally close to the end of this game. If you did enjoy it, you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good day and stay safe.